hear me.
Everybody can hear you, Brendan. I was just asking Feeney a practical question about the broadcast, and then you go, traffic.
I just wanted to see if he'd hear me at all. Because so far it's just been mean stares from Feeney.
He does have an icy stare considering he's not driving and shouldn't feel any stress whatsoever.
And there's
Who said I'm not driving?
Are you driving? I wish I could see you right now. I'm posting to the Patreon.
I was doing some great pantomime work.
Yeah, that was some good object work.
Object work.
No, item work. Let me see. All right, so we are live on YouTube. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another live What's the Scenario podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Mike Cannon. With me, as always, in his own personal studio, Brendan.
Could be any
Jesus
of us.
Christ. No, it's not. All right, Feeney.
Mike Feeney.
What's up, buddy?
And also with Jeet the dog, and also
Brendan Sagalow.
Brendan, say your name? Okay.
We are off our game. This goddamn episode might be a $100 paywall episode. Who knows? Shit might get fucking
Why
weird.
would you say I'm in my own studio? Why would you say anything different?
Because you're properly in your own studio, and Feeney is in a mobile unit, and he continues to show the road for some reason.
It's pretty cool, right? This bridge.
Yeah,
no.
bridges
What
are
do you? What are you, Christina Hutchinson?
Thank you,
fucking
Brendan.
video recording every bridge you goddamn cross.
Hey, man, bridges are pretty sweet.
I just splashed water on my own face.
We've been in the car for 12 hours, so we're ready to snap. So let's go ahead and get this puppy out the road.
Have you guys had some real contentious, fun arguments?
No, I think, have we gotten into a fight yet in this ride? We've gotten short with one another a couple times under some direction-based stuff, but nothing great. We did I drove through 2 tornadoes, I'm pretty sure. Like, it literally went jet black outside, and the rain was going so hard that we were on the highway where the speed limit was 70, and I was doing 25, and it was just a car wash, and it was, a good 15 minutes of blackness. It was pretty terrifying. That was about 20 minutes ago.
Brendan is like, cool, man. You were in danger. That sounds awesome.
I just pictured 2 tornadoes next to each other, and Feeney's car is like right in the middle.
And the cow passing through his windshield.
Yeah, we did get into a fight, actually. It was that when earlier in the day, Erica was getting so tired, so I said, let's switch. To convince her to pull over, but there was no exit. So I was like, just pull over. It was like in the, North Carolina or something. I go, just pull over on the shoulder. And she was so worried about pulling over on the shoulder because, cars are going 75, 80 past it. But I convinced her to do it, but she was having an anxiety attack the whole way. And then she promptly fell asleep.
Not to mention, Erica is pretty tan to be pulling over in the South. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It would be funny if you were like, oh yeah, we did have an argument. Erica believes all lives matter, and I believe.
Yeah. She thought George Floyd shouldn't be a martyr, and
yeah, you just remember it. Oh yeah,
I remember when I was sleeping, she was on the phone with her mom saying something about the South rising again, but I don't know if that's...
And how all statues need to stay up to remind us of our history.
What a hilarious conversation to have with your mom. Yeah, mom. Yeah, the South is going to rise again. I know.
Just a reminder, we got to always remind ourselves before we leave in conversation. The South will rise again. Rest yourself. All right. So we do, for Monday's live episodes, we do a topic-based show. What's the Scenario? Patreon exclusive podcast. We do hypotheticals, scenarios, what ifs. We bat these questions back and forth. It is a comedy obstacle course, as we're fond of saying, that you help create. Exactly. I think Feeney added that part, and Brendan just stays silent, brimming with joy for some reason.
I'm having fun. I love you guys.
I love you too. This is the highlight of my day. It is
fun to watch because you, Mike, you're so adept at being the plug guy for this show. You're very good at succinctly saying the things, and I'd like to think that, you came up with that first part of the comedy obstacle course. I came up with the other tag. We kind of created this thing. We're able to pitch it and sell it to our people very well. But then Irish Goodbye comes around and Mike's like, follow us at Irish something. Just type it in. It'll
I'll tell you why. Money is a motivator to sell out. I can
really
read.
is.
I can read a prompter if I know I'm getting some coin immediately. All right. So today for our live episode, we do a topic. We just bullied Feeney into this one for some reason. I just said summer camp as an idea. Sagalo was like, this is kismet. I thought that exactly. I can't believe it. Holy shit. And Feeney, of course, has never been to camp once in his entire life. Have you worked at a camp?
No.
You've never been a. You look like a professional camp counselor. How have you never been one?
I did. I've only went to like some day camps, and I think that was in the summer of like sixth or seventh grade. But it was like, it was like a dumb thing. But I don't know. My family didn't have that kind of money to send me away on like long, lavish camping things.
Oh,
I can't wait to hear about your guys.
Let's
Here it
paint the
is.
fucking rags to
Privileged
riches narrative for
experience.
Feeny. Quick, tell us how you're an underdog. You know
I
what
hope
happened to the last guy that say that.
No.
Patreon.
I hope in the span of this episode, we slowly learn that Feeney's parents sent him to like a gay what is that called?
Camp to Mike
gay
Pence's
conversion camp.
therapy camp.
Yeah, I think Feeney is super.
He's
he like
he's
still laughing?
slow motion laughing. Either he's on ketamine right now, or
Dude,
he is. This is the best.
I don't want to
moment of my
wait
life.
for our life to be over.
Oh my god, I've never been so happy.
He's gonna say a bunch of things when he finally.
Oh
gets,
yeah, it's gonna be like an it's gonna be like an unking toes. Look at his face though. He looks so
He's
happy.
so happy.
I know. Oh nope, it switched to mad.
I haven't even seen Mad yet.
Yeah. Oh, it's
I'm
coming. I
I'm
mean, that
still on
kind of
him
looks like a
smiling.
pain. That looks like a pained smile, doesn't it? Doesn't that
This
like,
one right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That
was
that
the
looked
perfect
like
time.
the smile of a guy who hasn't been honest with himself.
I think he needs to get some service.
Yeah, I think so too.
Look
Who
at this.
knew? Dude, who would have thought that driving 100 miles per hour through the South wouldn't be an optimal time to Zoom and go on YouTube
On his
live
phone?
on his phone with
Whatever,
no
we don't need him.
hotspot? No, we don't. This is a two-person show mostly anyway, to be honest.
I know.
One of us
I know.
typically gets left in the dust. So this one, we won't hurt any feelings. Are you ready to get to the questions, Brandon?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess we should now that Feeney is gone forever.
We're the only two summer camp queens anyway, so fuck them.
Okay. Yeah.
this
What's he
is
gonna
gonna
add to
go
the fucking story?
not a damn thing except probably some humor. But
Yeah.
all right, let's start. We again topic summer camp. We start with our $50 Rosebud Baker Memorial Fund member questions. They get preferential treatment, of course, because they are buying our love with their money. So John Beatty, he oh actually no, I'm sorry, Sarah Hagen Miller. Did you guys ever have color wars during summer camp? Yes, but it was
Yeah,
of the
we
racial
did.
variety.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Where we were both like, the minute color was said, we're like, the gears just start working on how to do it,
I'm just like, shut up, Brendan. Shut up.
how to get to it. I know. I knew I was gonna say something, but I was like, let Mike have this one.
Oh yeah,
You
is
know?
that what happened, or did your
Yeah, I
brain
just
just
I let you have
fucking?
the joke.
Sorry, or is your brain just fucking weak old milk?
I think it's week old milk, but
Yeah,
yeah, we had color wars. I was always team.
your microphone. Jesus
This
Christ!
show
I have
is- this
two
show should
absolute.
end
This
forever.
show, you know what? You shouldn't pay for this, and we apologize. We're returning everybody's money. This is just unacceptable, especially since Brendan and I are like wired in to T3 modems.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm happy that happened because I was about to just say things that didn't matter at all. I was just
No,
about
I want to hear about your color wars.
It was nothing. It's like there was also fake color wars. Did you ever have that where you'd be? They did like a fake out kind of thing where they'd put you on a certain team and then something happened. I don't know. I don't remember. But
Explain, Brendan. I feel like you got molested during a fake color war because you are very.
It was just
vaguely covering this. You know that like it's an uncomfortable memory that every time you try to like wrap your mind around it, you start shivering and you have a pain in your lower ass.
You've never had the one color war where the oldest counselor in the bunk asked you to come into his bunk and
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 then
go
all
blue
you
on
see
him?
is the color black. You see dark.
Yeah.
um no, I mean, here's the thing. The camps that I've been to, I've only been to one like generic camp. Do you know what I mean? And that was a day
Mhm.
camp. It wasn't away. Every other camp that I've been to was a sports camp. So I went to a soccer camp, and then I went to basketball camp, sleepaway basketball camp a bunch. I
Yeah.
went to that was like most of my summer camp. But then I worked at did I work at a typical, I don't think I worked at a typical day camp, but I was the camp counselor at Camp Venture for disabled kids. I went from junior counselor to director. Like I
Wow.
like rose in the ranks of this fucking thing, and that was actually super fun.
You became king special ed.
Yeah, I was no, but dude, I was the basketball director, but basically I was like, walking around trying to finger other counselors.
Whoa, nice. They
Yeah,
were all
dude.
doing that. They were all
That's
doing
what
it. You could
summer
just
camp
tell.
is.
I went to Camp Tioga, which was a camp in Pennsylvania, and it was like so cliche camp, like cabins and everything, and like and ponds and fishing, and no girls wanting to touch me the entire time. I didn't hook up with a girl once, and I was there for like 3-4 years.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that
Yeah.
sucks.
I know.
Did you try?
And I know. Yeah.
You did?
No, I didn't. I'm not
You didn't,
lying.
like, no, no, I'm not. First of all, you're hearing every other word I'm saying because you're in such a fit of rage right now, remembering your childhood.
I'm so mad that I.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, did you try? Like, did you put yourself out there?
Oh, I thought you said lie.
No.
Did I try? If by standing kind of close to the hot chick bunk.
Yeah, well, you're
And-
having just your insides are like a Vegas casino lit up, but you're just sitting there autistically silent,
Yeah.
and she has no idea.
Yeah, if being super into Bam Margera was a turn on for
You like tried to talk to all the other counselor girls, is like, you saw Jackass, right? And you're like, what do you think about?
No,
try.
The girl bunk was bunk 13, I think it was, or something, and then there was like that was like the cool girl bunk,
Right.
where it was like all the rich Jews, and then there was
all right.
Why
were they in a separate house?
They were in the attic.
Yeah, what the fuck is that? They're in their own isolated log cabin.
Yeah, they took a separate train up to camp.
Jesus Christ.
Is that bad?
I don't know.
What I just said?
We're riding the fine line, buddy. I'm nervous.
We need Feeney here to fucking.
I know, to give us dirty looks so we can stop and understand what's reasonable to say.
Yeah, exactly. And then there was but no, I never hooked up with a girl, not even close. At one point,
so
you want to hear a sad story?
Yeah, of course I do.
So there was a place where everybody would sit, and it was like a hill with logs on it, like going up, and then it was called the Red Barn, and they would put a projector against the barn, and you could watch movies at night, whatever. And before the movie started, everybody would hang and talk and stuff. And I remember sitting above, like one log above the cool girl bunk, like the bunk that was like the hot girls,
Sure.
And they're all playing this game, and they're like, okay, would you kiss Justin or Kyle? And they're all like, Kyle. So
Can I pause you for 1 second?
Yeah.
Because when you said that you got the seat right near the hot girl thing, I remember the feeling of that, of like everything is an option. Holy shit. I might get a little bit of Zach and Kelly tonight. I might reenact my favorite, like every show that I watched when I was, young, that I thought like that's what hooking up was, like Dawson's Creek or whatever, that you just like, that's how you get chicks. I always thought that some of those perfect situations just align themselves in your life.
Yeah. You never think to actually like,
I would have
attached
so much meaning to my log being near their log. It'll be like, well, of course this is destined to be.
Well, yeah, exactly. And it's also like, and it's no different than how I am now, where if I'm like I like just sitting near hot girls because I just like looking at them. You know what I mean? So I was just in the log above them, like just looking at their better, formed bodies than me. Yeah.
Were you a little chub kid too, wearing way too many clothes?
I was a chubby kid, but I'm looking back on it now.
Did you dress like
monster.
young Zachary Ty Bryan? Like you just had like a bit of extra fat, but you wore like XXX long t-shirts just to hide everything?
Yeah, probably. I never wore. I wasn't wearing tight shirts.
Oh, Feeney's signing in under Erica's name. Should I just not let him in?
I mean, you could let him in. What do you want?
Of course, I'm gonna.
Oh, okay.
Welcome back to the program, one Mr. Michael T. Feeney.
Oh,
what happened? Did your phone die?
Man, it's like you don't check your texts that I've been frantically sending you guys.
No,
Shit.
we've been busy keeping thousands of people entertained.
Oh, well, it turns out Mike has banned me from the Zoom meeting, so it would not let me rejoin. So it's sorry about that, guys. Mike was shadow banning me from fun, but I'm back.
Do you know why I did that though? It's your fault still, because you joined twice with your iPhone and I had to kick the other iPhone out. And when it asked me to kick it out, it said you couldn't rejoin. And I figured, well, he'll never ask to rejoin because clearly he's here for the duration. And then your phone cut out. So your fault.
It sounds like it's your fault for banning me.
No, otherwise there would have been 4 squares, one of which would have been blank. So again, your fault.
Okay.
Next question.
No, I didn't even get to finish my story.
The color wars? Oh, okay. Go ahead.
No, not even the color wars. But so I'll just really quick, Feeney. I was here's a story about camp. I was sitting by the cool girls bunk at the Red Barn where we were about to watch a movie, and they give you like 10 minutes of everybody just talking and everything. And the cool girls, the hot cool girls, we're doing this thing where they're doing like orders where they're like, would you hook up with Justin or would you hook up with Kyle? And everyone's like, Justin, Kyle, and they couldn't decide. They couldn't pick a person. They could never agree, and it was a big thing. But then when my name came around, they were like, I was right behind them, and they go, would you hook up with Brendan or would you hook up with Luke? And they all go, Luke. They all do that.
No.
I know.
That reminds me of Ralph in The Simpsons, where you see the moment his heart breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah. None of them choose me.
That is why you are you, my friend. That is a sad, sad story. I'm sorry you had to go through that
story.
I'm sorry that happened to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna tweet about it.
Is there anywhere I can donate that can rectify that experience? Because nobody deserves to have that.
Is there any way I can show people how much I donated to help your cause?
All right, next question, because we have a bunch here that we just haven't gotten to any. So John Beatty, in the interest of testing the paywall, what would you call your own fat camp? What would you call your own gay conversion camp?
Oh, that is a nice little paywall test.
Yeah, I know my gay conversion camp name.
What?
The Straight and Narrow.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's really good.
That's a perfect name, I think.
I would call it No Mo Homo.
Oh my god! I thought mine was perfect and you just absolutely destroyed it.
Real quick, just gets it right to the point.
No mo homo. And it's just Hideo Nomo is the teacher.
Yeah. Who, by the way, was in his own camp, I think.
Was he?
No, he was a big boy.
That was a Japanese joke?
No, it was he was a very fat baseball player.
Oh, I see. Feeney, what would yours be?
I like Brendan's. I think I'm just gonna steal Brendan's thing. This is great. It was perfect. Okay. Why tempt fate?
All right.
Okay. What about a fat camp? What would you call your fat camp?
Brendan's place.
Fat camp.
I would call it Slim Fast, and then just get sued and shut down immediately by the company. Cease and desist.
Hell yeah.
Shit. Mine would be Slim and Purge.
Mine would just be a wink. It would, if you could just be a wink, because then the fat kids would come there and they'd all know. They'd be like, this counselor gives us candy. Like it's a fat camp, but it's to make you feel better. It's like that movie Heavyweights, you know?
Oh, my buddy's in that movie.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, my good friend, my buddy Aaron. He was like one of the chubby kids in that movie. And now he's an absolute stud of a model. He's the most beautiful person you've ever seen in your life.
Did he have
Oh
any
yeah,
Oscars
you've talked about this guy.
Yeah, we talked about him on Irish Goodbye. Mike is waxed poetic about the sculpture of the man's chest.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I would like a refresher course, but I won't. You're using your phone, so I won't ask you to do that. But yeah,
I don't even know if that's possible.
Post some pictures of him on the Patreon. Give the gals a little eye candy. We have a ton of female Patreons, by the way.
Yeah.
It's very fun, and they're always the ones populating the chat. Right now, they're all talking to each other. It's a straight up clam fest up in that piece.
What are they saying? Are any of them disagreeing with those girls that turned me down when I was so younger?
Let's watch, or let's his mic messing up is part of the show now. Guys, who would we all want to be our camp counselors out of the boys? Hannah says Sagalo. You're out.
Okay.
Serafina said, I think I'd want Cannon. C-Dump said, same, Sarah. Nice. 2 for me. Jen then says, I can't decide. Somebody goes, Sagalo's a little doofy and Feeney's a little psycho.
Is that the name of our fat camps?
What?
That's the name of our camps.
What, Doofy and Goofy?
Doofy and Psycho.
Doofy and Psycho. Somebody really nails me down here. If Cannon was our counselor, we would know his mood for the day based on his tone taking attendance. That's so funny.
Wow. That's very accurate.
Our people know us. All right, so let's go on to our next question. You ready?
Yeah.
Did you know there are adult summer camps? Would you ever consider going, and what would your expectations be? I've never been, only heard about them. Have you seen the brochures for these?
I've heard of like podcasts doing like a sleepaway camp, and never like an adult. I really am lonely and need some sort of friendship and meaning in my life sort of camp. Those are that sounds super lame to me, but more power to you.
I mean,
it just on your own. If you got to go to the woods.
Well, that's the thing. It sounds like somebody who has a lot of trouble meeting and socializing with people. That sounds like a good thing to do. Or if you have absolutely no light, yeah, if you have no light fun in your life and you're just like, all right, I gotta play dodgeball with other 30-year-olds.
Yeah. But then
Tim
after like
that, Tim went to one of those. He also used to teach at one.
Yeah, but I feel like Tim
and Hershon went. What?
Yeah, Tim was leading a cult. That's the difference.
No, but this was an adult. So I think they got in trouble also for doing mushrooms, because that's the only kind of adult camp I would go to. Like my bachelor party was an adult camp, basically. You know, we rented a boat. We camped on an island. We, got a ton of drugs. That's the adult type of camp that I would want to do. I don't want to fucking do crafts with 42-year-old, micro, guys that work at the bank.
I gotta be honest. The macaroni art days of my life are gone.
Not mine. Might have just begun.
Yeah, you've come full circle.
Yeah, I'm excited, to be honest. Did I tell you guys that when I was coaching at Super Soccer Stars, they put me on like a camp? This was like in the first couple months of me doing this, so I barely knew how to coach people, let alone how to, and I had to like run a camp. But they're like, it's just 2.5 hours. It's super easy. It's like an extended class, basically. But what I found out when I got there was that half of it was soccer, then there was a snack, and then there was arts and crafts that I had to teach. I'm not equipped to do that. I just had to look up projects online while like on the fly with the supplies that they gave me, and I just designed arts and crafts projects for like kids 2 to 9 years old.
I feel like that's what every arts and crafts teacher does. I feel like no one there's no lesson plan for
no, but there are companies that do it, that like there are lesson plans, like they're professional arts and crafts.
Sure, but that sounds like money is involved, where with it seems like it was significantly cheaper.
Yeah. They didn't.
Why?
I just
why do you have to
volunteered.
even look up things to do? Why didn't you just go, today we're gonna throw glitter in the sky?
Yeah, we're gonna
Because-
eat glitter.
Because they were like leaving with, so like the parents were staying, so they wouldn't leave. The parents were all there and they were watching camp. So I had to I was brand new to coaching. I had to fake knowing what I was doing coaching, which I kind of had an idea for. And then I had to completely make up lesson plans for arts and crafts because these parents paid for a full camp and I was just, a dummy that was lonely during the day.
I would love to see like you as the full camp, like they're paying you to be everything, like the chef and the arts and crafts and the
that is what I was, dude. There was no chef though. They had to bring their own snacks, and I had to like hand out plates, divvy out snacks, make sure kids with fucking peanut allergies were like in some bubble 6 doors down, and then and then they could like rejoin the idiots after everybody takes a bath. It was like
wow,
insane.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
what a weird life. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. What's the next question?
Let me see. So adult summer camps, we did that. If the 3 of you started a summer camp, what would be the name and slogan? Describe at least 3 activities you'd have the campers do. Hell yeah, Dad.
Oh man, one of the activities would be passively aggressively talking to each other. One of the activities would be getting offended by something that isn't offensive. Like from another being like, the kids would be like, are you lying to me? Oh, you think I'm lying to you? No, it's a question.
It's called Take It Personally. The class. Your professor is all of us.
They just watch us fight for 7 hours.
Oh, and then there'd be another one called Prank Your Parents, and it would be Feeney, and he'd just teach them, how to basically make their parents' lives a living hell.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. 101. What's the one rule I always say, kids? Always be filming. Film everything. Film all of this. You're gonna scare someone? Film it. You're gonna hurt someone? Film it.
Remember, saran wrap over the toilet is funnier if they shit.
I will say I found old video of, I was going through more of those old footage that I had, and there's just one when my grandmother used to play Pac-Man or like Space Invaders, she would lose her fucking mind, dude. Like she would get so stressed and so panicked. And I had like 10 uninterrupted minutes of her playing while I'm putting more pressure on her, being like, watch out, they're coming for you, watch out. And she's like, where do I go? Oh no, oh Jesus. Like she's like screaming. And my voice sounds so high. I thought it was my mother talking for the first 5 minutes.
Dude, I used to do that to my older sister while she was driving. So she had like her license for 8 minutes, and I'm just like, oh, they left. Just like,
don't kill us.
Being an asshole. Oh, by the way, there is an upheaval in the chat. I'm sorry, C Dumps. I didn't read the question properly. They're just people are turning on her because her or him, I have no idea, because or they could be anything. Because they called you a psycho. And we all know that it was meant in a loving way. We're not taking anything personally from the chat. This is the Patreon chat. We understand that you guys are all love, all positive. You're fantastic people. We take everything that you say through the filter of goodness. It's the Twitter and everything else that is like, just absolute, 7th circle of hell shit.
But also that is such a funny example of what our camp would be, taking something personal and then like apologizing or demanding an apology.
Yep. And then fighting with people.
Never apologizing.
Yeah.
Well, you got to give the illusion that you're sorry without ever copping to it.
Yeah. You let them know that you understand their feelings while explaining what they did wrong.
It's the old Louis C.K. letter to the New York Times technique.
Yeah.
It's so funny because it'd be like 9 a.m. Cannon teaches basketball, and then 10 a.m. Feeney teaches how to never be wrong.
Sagalo, lunchtime is just Sagalo. How to be full for $3.50.
No, my
What you
class
guys
would
don't,
be
what you
them.
guys don't notice is that my class actually started before Mike's basketball class. And is it cutting out?
Yeah, it is.
Just did, yeah.
All right, I'll wait till I'm in clear service before I
That joke sounded good,
I got
though,
a whole
huh?
thing.
Yep.
I
Well,
didn't say it because I was worried. Am I back?
It just sounded like it was going to be really funny.
Yeah, it definitely had
It
all
is.
the momentum
So
and
might.
lead up to being fun.
No, my
How
class
about
would
now?
be.
Am I good? Am I clear?
Yeah.
You are, yeah. Why is
Go ahead, Brendan,
I'm
say
just noticing that Brendan's hair looks like a Dick Tracy villain. It's like boxy on top somehow.
I don't know, dude.
It's wild. Stage 2 open today, baby. Get a cut.
I know. I kind of like it, though.
So I was going to say that my class actually starts at 8 a.m., an hour before Mike's basketball class. And what we do is all the students, we go there and we really buff the shit out of the linoleum floor. So that way when Mike walks in leading the campers, he slips immediately and breaks every bone in his body.
So your first prank is me tearing my Achilles?
Yeah, because you'll never stop talking about it. It'd be so fun.
What a terrible camp. I don't want to be a part of this camp.
My
Yeah,
my class would be telling the kids to tell me that I'm worth it. Like they'd have to be
how to
complimenting
compliment
me.
Brendan correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not insult you, but if you so much as even hint that he's not perfect, then he will really text you about it later.
Yeah. Yeah. It's how not to react when someone hurts your feelings 101.
Yeah, we call it kids gloves with Sagalo. They think they're showing up to kiddie boxing lessons, but it's just them trying to lightly jab you.
Yeah, take off your kids' gloves. Put on your kids. They have to put on kids' gloves.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, that's great. That was
What
fun.
else we got?
All right. Genocide, who is in the chat, what's going on? Did you have any gay or near-death experiences at camp? Which would you rather have? Oh, and she said you could add molestation in there if you want. All have traumatizing potential, I guess.
I've had neither, I don't think.
No, I think I pissed the bed. I pissed the bed at camp once, and I was like way too old for it. Like I was like deep in high school, I think. And I was
Oh my God.
What?
Yeah, and I was at sleepaway
my
basketball camp, and I just woke up and I was covered in piss, and I was like,
What?
well, that's embarrassing, and I'm never telling anyone.
Were you
It's another
hammered?
great prank.
No, I
They
wasn't
just
drinking.
threw piss on you.
Yeah, I mean, somebody may have just tossed a bucket of piss. It didn't even
How funny
smell
of a
though.
prank would that be? Is you put someone goes passes out, you pour piss on them, and then film them in like the night vision mode as they try to frantically but quietly clean it all up and never bring it up.
That is a good prank, dude.
Just see you with towels dabbing your sheets.
That would be awful. And then you find out it's not your piss.
I love.
How would you find out?
I don't know. They tell you out of the goodness of their hearts.
Every
They
day
level with you as they level with you as a fellow human.
Yeah.
eat steak. It's funnier.
No, but yeah, I totally forgot about that. I haven't thought about that in a long time.
What were you, a senior?
No, I think I was going into my junior year, actually, or going into my sophomore year. And that's also the camp that my dad's friend drove me to. And that summer, he ended up murdering his wife and killing himself.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that guy was 4 hours in the car with him.
Wow.
Remember that.
Yeah, wild, right? He used to come over and fix my computer.
Oh my God. Did he ever mention anything about
he kept saying to Mike, talk me out of it. But Mike wasn't.
Yeah, and I go, what? You're doing a great job.
He's like, tell me not to just once.
I can't control my hands. Mr. Gary, you're wild.
Yeah. I would really like to murder my wife and myself, but if anyone just said don't, if someone right now just said don't do it, I wouldn't. And Mike's like, all right, take it easy.
My dad says the same thing all the time. Just walk away.
I gotta go piss my pants. See you later.
Brendan, did you move on to dudes at any point after getting rejected by women, or no gay experiences?
No, that didn't come till this year, I think.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
if you want, you.
I was at
totally...
camp. I was at camp with my twin when we were younger, and then we had this whole idea to get our parents back together. We figured because they had just gotten divorced, it was pretty tough on us. So we're like, what if we kind of did like the old switcheroo?
Yeah.
And that's what we called it, the switcheroo.
Together, yeah.
Did you meet that twin?
I really think you're swell. You really ring a bell. Who, me? We. Nothing could be greater. Say, hey, alligator, let's get together. Yeah. That's from that movie, Feeney, that you were just describing.
Is this Mike's cameo? Are you doing a cameo for us?
You hear me? My cameo offers songs that you've never heard.
Should we start a cameo?
That was also from we already have a cameo. It's called Patreon.
Okay.
We're already talking directly to them. Why would they want shorter clips where we do the same thing?
Oh yeah, we should probably get rid of our OnlyFans then, huh?
No, that stays up. So next question.
Yeah.
All right. How this is Troyer. How do you survive the summer camps you guys went to if it were the Hunger Games?
What?
Like, I don't know.
What? Brute force?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. When I went to basketball camp, like especially the sleepaway ones, they were like when I was now specialized in basketball and I took it really serious. And those kids were all far and away greater athletes than me. I would have been one of the first people dead.
I don't think I understand the question.
Like, how would you have fared if the Hunger Games were at your camp? But I guess you went to fat camp, so kind of the Hunger Games were happening.
Oh, you did, Brendan?
That's funny. That is funny. I didn't go to fat camp though. I was pretty much the only fat person there. I went to skinny camp.
you went to stick out like a sore thumb camp.
Yeah. I went not Brendan ever getting laid camp. How would I survive? I'd probably I'd put on my helmet, my skateboard helmet, and my skateboard pads, and I would use my skateboard as a weapon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, of course, I have to go off of my day camp memory, but I remember they made us do like lacrosse and stuff, so I'd probably just dress up in lacrosse gear and just do that. They call it cradling, the little thing, and then just throw the ball at someone.
Do you feel like you'd have an easier time shooting somebody with a gun or a bow and arrow?
Gun.
Like,
yeah,
and I don't mean
gun.
out of like, say you were proficient in both, but you've obviously never killed some. Yeah. But I kind of want to see it just go into a body.
Guns are modern bow and arrows, if you think about it.
Right.
So you don't want to go backwards, you know?
That's the point of what you just said?
I don't know, dude. I don't know, man. Daryl from The Walking Dead went backwards, and that was cool as shit.
Well, okay. Yeah. What would you rather travel in, a horse or a car?
Well, first of all, that's an asinine question, Brendan. We're talking about
horse.
Yeah, we're talking about murder weapons, not mode of transportation. And you saw that crossbow that I had while we were filming Frank Rigatone. I mean, I could put 6 between your eyes before you even took your dick out.
Oh yeah. You're an asinine.
All right, next question.
You said my question was asinine.
Which character would you play in Wet Hot American Summer? Brendan would be the fucking can of soup.
Oh, I can't remember the characters.
Yeah, but you'd be the fucking.
I like the movie though.
You'd be the chef, the guy from Law and Order or whatever it is. The guy who's like nuts. Yeah, Cannon would be.
I've only seen the reboot. I don't think I've seen that movie.
Oh, the original is great, but I don't remember like the specific. I just know there's so many famous people in it.
I thought the
Hot
show.
American Summer.
I'd probably be gay Bradley Cooper.
Oh, I'm Paul Rudd.
Yeah, you're not
I'm
Paul Rudd.
ageless. I'm
Okay,
ageless. And people like me.
Brendan just got so mad because he wants
Yeah.
to be Paul Rudd.
I want to be Paul Rudd. I
You'll
want to be
never
cool.
be Paul Rudd.
You'll never be Paul Rudd.
I
If
am.
anything, your Ken, whatever his name is, the guy who sucks.
How many people have said to you in the last year where they're like, "Oh my God, you're that old? I thought you were much younger." People see you and people go, "You're still in your 20s?"
Brendan isn't Paul Rudd. He's Raoul Pud.
Raoul Pud. That's funny. That'd be a good screen name.
That would. Raoul Pud. Fun stuff. All right. I think we're on the last. Oh, we're on the last two right now. Justin Michaud. He said, "What was the dumbest thing you got in trouble for?" Mine was running.
Dumbest thing I got in trouble for at
In camp.
Yeah.
I don't know. I did once. We were having like a water balloon fight with so our bunk was next to the oldest kid's bunk, which was like the cool bunk. Like you could tell they all did drugs. And we were having a water balloon fight with them. And they go, if one more person throws over a water balloon, we're going to throw you in the fucking shower. And I took out a water balloon and I chucked it. Didn't even hit anybody. It went like splat on their desk, on their not desk, on their what's that called? The front part, patio kind of thing.
The front part.
Porch?
The porch, yeah, but it's the deck.
Yeah.
So it just went and they ran after me and I hid like a little rat, and then they got me and they threw me in the fucking shower. Yeah, just a bunch of like 16-year-olds just throwing me in the shower, my fat pig like squeak, you know, and they're like pouring shampoo on me. It's getting all over I'm in my clothes and everything. And it like got in my eye and I was like, fuck, you know, being over dramatic. It obviously probably didn't get in my eye, but I was like, guys, stop, you know. And then
so wait,
there was
how scary was it? Oh yeah, go, keep going.
There was one kid and his name was Ansel, I think.
Ansel Igor?
I don't know, but he had a broken arm at the time, and he was the only one that was like, hey man, are you okay? And I fucking took a shampoo bottle and I threw it at him. And it hit his broken arm, and he was like, ow, fuck! And he just like kicked me in the shower.
So wait a sec. When you hid, how long were you hiding before they found you? And how absolutely terrifying was the moment where they went, there he is?
Well, here's what happened. It's even worse than that. So I went behind the bunk, and I went to go hide like between the tennis courts. And this fucking guy who was in my bunk was like, hey, man, they're not looking for you anymore. He fucking sold me out. And I went, oh, okay. And I walked in through the back, which is where the bathroom and shower were. And they're all just standing there like fucking like holding like batons and everything and like chains.
Slapping their hands. Yeah. I thought you were going to say you were like halfway under a bunk bed and they saw your bottom half sticking out.
They pulled my legs. I'm like,
I remember I went to like one of these, like, it was kind of like this training camp kind of a situation, like, but like for like this fitness, like boot camp kind of style and everything. And it was really stressful. And it was like 6 or 8 weeks. And then the more it went on, we were all kind of growing together as a unit. But then one of the guys was just lagging behind so much that we all got punished for it, like with physical, having to run further and do more push-ups and pull-ups and stuff. So one of the nights we decided we had enough. We wanted to get him in line. So we took a bunch of our soap bars, we put them in our socks, and then a couple of us threw blankets over him to hold him down, and then we just kind of fucking let into him with the soap bars a bunch of times, and then he fucking snapped and killed himself.
What?
And yeah. And
are you doing a movie or did this really happen?
And then we went away to war, and war is hell.
Oh, cool. So just no answer from you, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with that.
How dare you?
I pushed a kid that couldn't swim in the pool by mistake, and I got in trouble for that. Like, I didn't push him by mistake. I didn't know he couldn't swim. And so I just pushed him in the pool, and then he like just sunk to the bottom, and the lifeguard jumped in and was like, yo, are you fucking retarded? And I'm like, yes.
That's like attempted murder.
I didn't know.
Wow.
Yep. All right. Somehow mine was worse than what Feeney just said. Jesus Christ, you're both fucking.
People,
I don't like
people in the
either
chat
answer.
know what I'm doing.
I
They
hate
know
it.
what.
No, the
say
chat
what
turned
Bill-
on Feeney.
I really
No
hope
one
Feeney's
has.
out of fake
Try turning on Paul Rudd.
movies.
Somebody
Stories.
said greatest movie about summer camp. Somebody said I'd say Camp Nowhere or Heavyweights. I'd definitely say Camp Nowhere.
Heavyweights for sure, or like one of the Jason movies or something.
You're the asshole that's like Die Hard's a Christmas movie. You fucking
I
boner.
know.
All right,
Well, what other
last question.
summer camp movies do you know?
There's a ton of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go.
All right, next question.
naming
Last
some.
one. Summer camp, the movie,
Starring
Chevy Chase,
and
Barack Obama.
Yo, coming this summer, Chevy Chase. Hey, blah blah blah. Barack Obama. In summer camp.
The movie.
Yeah.
It's about adult summer camp. Last question, Justin Michaud. What was? Oh, he already asked. I already asked that question. Michael, he asks, who was the weirdest kid you met at summer camp? Oh, I know.
Me too.
Mine. I won't say this kid's last name because I'm pretty sure he is a genius. Like he's definitely got a touch of Asperger's or something like that. But he was trying out for the soccer team and he played, but with that came some really funny, just, objectively funny outbursts at soccer camp where
Shit.
we'd all be ordered to do
Whoa.
condition. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Your
What
body,
t-shirt
Brendan.
contest, huh, Brendan?
Thank you for showing us your puffy nips through a barely there white shirt.
What was that?
It
That was
fucking
like
fell off
Kim-
of my thing.
Dude, that was like Kim Basinger in 9.5 weeks. That was sexy as fuck. Oh my God.
Yeah, you like it.
Save that for the high-end patron members.
Yeah, this is gonna go for $100 paywall. So this kid, like we'd have to run or do star jumps, which were basically like burpees before burpees. And he would just be like, I came here not to do star jumps. I came here to play soccer. And like he would just have those very direct, like, I'm not in running camp, I'm soccer player. Like he'd just have those kind of meltdowns. And that was his exact voice also, by the way. But it's one of those things where you understand that this kid is not socially completely there, but it's also hilarious.
Was this kid's name Garrett? Because he's exactly the kid that I was just about to say.
No, it's Anton. I'm pretty sure he works for like SpaceX now. Like he's some ridiculous, brainy fella.
Feeney's the wheels are turning. Feeney's trying to find a movie with a creepy weirdo and a camp.
I hate it. I don't trust him either, Brendan.
There was a kid in our camp and his name was Garrett. And he talked just like that dude, whatever you said, Anton, and he was super skinny and super weird. And, we gave him a lot of shit, which I feel bad for. But there's sometimes where it's like, we'd have days where we're like, all right, guys, we got to be nicer to Garrett. And then he's like blowing his nose on a fucking skateboard or something. And everyone's like, Garrett, what the fuck are you doing? And he's just like, this is how I do it at home. He's basically Ian. That's who. One time, the stories we have with this kid, like he would stay up at night because he thought we'd fuck with him. So he'd go to sleep around like 4 a.m. And one time, me and my buddy Jacob were like, it was our last night, so we were gonna like fuck up the bunk.
I love Brendan. He's like, this kid is weird, man. He's not sleeping, going to bed at 4 because he thought we were gonna fuck with him. And I remember the last night we were gonna fuck with him so bad.
But we couldn't fuck with him because he stayed up. The minute we set our alarms to go off at like 3:30, and we get up to go fuck with everybody, and he like shoots up and he's like, "What are you guys doing?" And we're like, "Garrett, shut up." He was just one of those guys. We took off all his clothes and threw him in that older bunk that was next door. And he was running around. Like, I still remember hearing the sounds of his feet slapping against the wood, like running around, like just naked. We tormented this guy. And naked.
So you did have a gay experience.
Well, I blew him after, so that's gay.
No, that's cool. Feeney,
I
anything
won't
from
say.
you?
I won't say. Well, obviously, again, I didn't go to the summer camp, so I don't have that. But in a comedy-related story, I know when I first started comedy, there was those couple guys down when I would be at the Lantern. There was, I don't want to name names, but you guys will know who I'm talking about. But there was one guy in particular that was so fucking socially weird, and it made us feel uncomfortable. And I would see him at Dangerfield sometimes. One time I saw him at Dangerfield's go up, just fucking tried to do comedy, just was laughing his entire set, at himself, like maniacally and like a maniac. And then you weren't telling if he was like crying or laughing. And then
you're just doing the Joker, and I'm livid right now. I'm
that
so
sucks.
mad. I was almost going to be like the Joker, and then I remembered what your whole episode
so
has
into
been.
that, dude. I was so into that story, you fuck.
I hate this show. I hate you.
God damn it.
Oh, by the way, speaking of which, my movie
that I have no life experience in the next time.
My movie has a release date, July 8th, baby.
Whoa.
Wow.
On Amazon Prime. Timing coming to you soon. July 8th. What a wild ride.
Where are we screening it?
Oh, definitely on here. It's going to be a very painful event because of just the earnest attempt at acting I put forth. So, I don't know.
I can't wait to see this, man.
Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to our bonus Patreon live episode of What's the Scenario. Remember, tell your friends, spread word as much as possible about the show. We're trying to grow this thing, and anything you guys have in terms of suggestions, whatever you want to see from us, we'll put behind the scenes shit. Anything, additional formats to the show, whatever the fuck you want to see, we're down to do. So thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Thanks.
Thank you.